Hello everybody, welcome to Red Tool House. In this episode we're going to start our hugel bed. I'm going to build one right in this spot in the backyard. So let's start slinging dirt. Well, our plan, we've been wanting to do Hugelkultur for a while. Wanted to try it out and see how it goes. And the plan is to put a small test bed right here in the backyard, right? From that cut-off stump to about where the camera is sitting right now. So it's about 15, 18 feet worth of land here. We've got some logs that have been rotting down that we're going to move up, and we also have some really nice composted manure we're going to put on top. So we'll get that going and see what we can do. Okay, so what we had is we had some old logs that were down in my compost pile. This is actually 2 maples. I believe that's a pine if I recall, from a burn pile. Same thing here. And then a piece of white oak stump there. And this will be the backbone or the primary source of carbon for the hugel bed. So we'll come back and cover all this up. Earlier today, we have neighbors that have horses and goats, and they had some composted manure for us. So we transported the tractor up to their place, which was it's actually just less than 3 miles away from us. So transported the tractor up there. We're able to fill up our trailer with composted manure. I really appreciate Tim and Kim letting us do that. It's great to have neighbors that kind of share resources there. I did a little bit of road cleanup on his road to the barn with my tractor while I was there. So that's just my way of saying thanks for letting us have some manure there. And then Kelly drove the truck and the trailer back while I drove the tractor back to the farm. So we're going to bring that in. And the neat thing about this is that composted manure is ready to go. It's not hot manure. It's not green. So we'll put this straight on the bed. Now, we could still do a small fall garden if we wanted to, but our game plan, I believe, is just to get this set in place and just let it go through fall and go through winter and be ready to go into spring. So we're going to get this set up. Right here beside me is our drainage ditch. There's the runoff of the rain from around the house and in the yard comes right down here to my left. And so that's why I want this hugel mound to be here, so it can take advantage of that water, and I can even go back up there and dam up places or just make some swale cuts to bring water along this side of it if I need to. But there's a bit of water that comes down from this side as well. So this is a little bit of a damp area, so we'll just have to see how it does and what vegetables do well and what don't. Alright, well, we've got all of our composted manure in. And again, really impressed with how much this manure is already broken down. It really is just topsoil. Really good stuff. So we were thinking about just letting this rest for fall and winter, but I believe since it's as good as it is, my youngest has expressed interest in maybe trying to do a little bit of fall planting. So we may try to stick some stuff in here and see if we can get some things going. We're right up against that being mid-August, but we may give it a try. So hugel mound, the Hugelkultur, there's plenty of videos on the internet about it, so I obviously don't need to get into it big time and discuss it. But you have buried wood, As that wood rots and decomposes, it becomes a moisture wicking element, so it's going to pull water up, keep the bed hydrated, and obviously provide nutrient as it breaks down. We put these big logs in that had been composting for a couple years now. They had really gotten punky. But I've seen guys do big logs and then small stuff on top, and you know, the greener the stuff is, the longer you got to give it to break down. But yeah, you can come back and plant. I've seen guys plant perennial stuff in it. I've seen them just plant annuals. One thing that's interesting, if you watch, plug another YouTube channel, if you watch Edible Acres, which is a guy up in Ithaca, New York, he is like Yoda when it comes to this type of stuff. Very, very neat watching him do Hugelkultur and just working on his 10-acre plot there. He does a lot of perennial stuff, compost building, those type of things. So check him out. He's really interesting. I like watching his stuff. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. This will settle a little bit, of course. And of course, if I let the chickens get in here, they're going to scratch it all out because there's tons of huge earthworms in here. So we may put up a little netting around it, keep the chickens out of it, keep the deer out of it. Have some strawberry plants that are hidden in our grown-up area over here. That was our straw bale gardening. That's what's left of it. So we may transplant our strawberry plants over here and put strawberries on one corner, and maybe come back with some annuals that we can do for this fall. So the hugel mound we put in actually was the manure we got from our friends was so composted, it was ready to go. So we had been, my son had been asking about a fall garden, so we decided to go ahead and build the hugel mound and go ahead and plant in it. So what we did is, on the one end, I planted some winter crop, some lettuce, stuff that would obviously grow quicker. That was an earlier maturity date. So some lettuce, a little bit of spinach, and we're going to try some carrots to see how they go. May have to use some low tunnels or something like that to help heat it. I don't know. I'll figure it out because I'm not very good with gardening, so this is a new venture for us. But also, you can see right behind me here, this green mess is our strawberry plants. We had strawberry plants that survived our straw bale garden from 2 years ago, and they actually are doing pretty well where the straw bales had just kind of completely decayed, but the deer and the rabbits were coming in and wearing them out. So we thought, well, let's go ahead and transplant them. Probably not the best time of year to transplant them, but we'll try it, see how it goes, and see if they'll survive till next spring. So we also, of course, had to put our mandatory fencing around to keep the deer, deter the deer. Usually we discover that they're so lazy, they just want to graze on whatever. So if we make it a little more difficult for them to graze in this spot, they'll just move on to something else and eat it. We got plenty of sacrificial green around here. So it turns out pretty well, so we're anxious to see how this works. Well, in a couple of weeks, we'll do an update of how our hugel beds are going and how our sprouts are going and if our strawberry plants made it or not. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. We'll do that in an update. I want to also take the time to announce our hat winner, our drawing from August. Again, every month we draw from people that are on our email newsletter list. We draw their names at random and we announce a winner for a prize that we give away each month, and we send that out to the winner there. So this month, in the month of August, we are giving away a red Tool House hat, and we drew the name, and the winner is John M. from Otego, New York. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. O-T-E-G-O, New York. So John M. So John, I'll be sending you a message, get your address from you, and we'll be able to ship that hat out. Appreciate you being a part of our email newsletter list. And again, if you guys want to be part of those monthly drawings, all you got to do is go to redtoolhouse.com, hit the newsletter sign up button at the bottom, and you'll automatically be entered there. Well, I want to take this opportunity to read a comment on one of the videos I just posted 2 days ago from the day that this video will air. 2 days ago, we posted a video about how to keep your eggshells more rigid and strong, the calcium deficiency that you could have in your chickens. So I wanted to read a comment. I'm going to use my phone here to cheat, to have my notes here, but I thought it was interesting and want to use this to explore additional discussion on future videos. Ryan Buskirk commented that he uses argonite. He mixes 5 pounds per 100 pound of feed. I grind good strong shells. I also offer free choice oyster shells. They might have to use a cup of that so far this year. So he's using argonite, and as we commented back and forth, he gave me some details here of argonite's basically powdered oyster shells, that he mixed along with a grind of mixed corn, roasted soybean, oats, kelp, and NutriBalancer. So it looks like Ryan's mixing his own chicken feed there. So I'd like to get some feedback from you all that mix your own feed. And let's maybe incorporate that into a future episode. If you guys want to give me feedback of what you do, then I'll detail each one of those. So either comment below with some details, send me any links if you have them to what you're using or your website or blog, or you utilizing those type of custom mixes. Or just again, visit our website, redtoolhouse.com, use our contact form to send me some information there. So take some time to accumulate that. We'll incorporate that into an episode. I really like the idea of building your own feed and mixing your own so you can get those ingredients just the way you want them. So I appreciate Ryan giving us that comment. I really appreciate everyone watching. I really appreciate all the good feedback. So whether you homestead the balcony of a high-rise or 1,000 acres, it's all about getting started. So as we say, we just encourage you to go out and get your hands dirty. Take care.